Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, B Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. Oh, I'm back in the book. You're going to learn something today. Some Egyptian history. Okay, some origins of the Ethiopians and the Egyptians. A tidbit. This is going to be a good lesson. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I hope they're working out for you. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, that I want all right thinkers to know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where I'm going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Okay. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows that they know, or knows not that they know, is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. I think is know thyself. And always to Mayat be true. I want to give you a little lesson about ancient origins of the Ethiopians and the Egyptians, the origins of their yoga philosophy. I got a lot of little I call fluff, but information that some people are interested in, some is not. I'm gonna pick and choose the stuff I think is worth getting into. So I'm gonna pick and choose some of these little lessons as I go through. But starting with this one, let me show you a picture. See that picture there? That's a female goddess. That's one of the oldest symbols. Okay. And the first god that we served was a female. That's what they're showing you. So now let's take a little lesson and break this down for you. Give you a little Egyptian history. Since according to Manetho, he was the first high priest of the Egyptian. He's the one that unified Upper and Lower Egypt. He's the high priest. So, but according to him, now I'm gonna give you some information from this guy, Theodorus Circulus, the Greek historian, what he think about us. But that's part of the lesson. So let's go. But now, since according to Manetho, the high priest of Egypt, and other ancient writers, there have been many periods. They told many periods in history and civilizations which have come and gone. We know that, okay? Some more technically advanced, some more spiritually advanced, philosophically advanced, but they come and they go, which have come and gone. And the current historical period is only one in a series of historical periods. I'm a historian. I study history, so I'm fascinated with histories. So, and there is no one beginning and there is no one end. However, everybody have a story. It says in the beginning, and everybody got an end to their story. Everybody's different. The ancient mystical wisdom is the same from the age to age as it has been the same origin. Some places didn't change. I'm gonna break that down to you. And the current age begins in Africa, Ethiopia, aka Egypt. Information is right here. I ain't gonna go through all that. I'm gonna just read it to you and hope you get to understand as I go through it. Okay, but this is information from Theodorus Circulus, the Greek historian. This is what he writes in the time of Augustus in the first century BCE. So after all the stuff we done did, here's a Greek. I'm gonna tell you about what it is according to them. So this is his version. All right, understand. Now that the Ethiopians as historians relate to where the first of all men, and the proofs in this statement they say are manifest. What they mean? For they did not come into their land as immigrants. They didn't migrate into Ethiopia. They didn't migrate from somewhere else, but they came to Egypt. Watch this. This is the part that I'm gonna like. I'm going to push it up on my damn phone. Okay, I got the information. But watch this. They did the manifest. Okay, they didn't migrate from abroad. What happened? They were the natives of it, and so justly bear the name of what they call autochthons. 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 It means sprung from the soil itself. The Aborigines in Australia claims the same concept. We sprung out from the good earth. Concept. Everybody's got that mentality that somebody came from heaven. Anunnaki, yeah, all that. I'm not buying into none of that. Understand that. I don't subscribe to it. Moving on. Not here to debate back and forth about that. Ain't got time for that. They got their concept. I got mine. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We all have some. I choose this one. Moving on. But this is what they feel about themselves. Okay. Now it means sprung from the soil itself, and they maintain and conceded by practically all men. They also say that the Egyptians are colonists sent out from the Ethiopian highlands. Okay, and I got that. And they use Asar, having been what? The leader of the colony, for speaking generally what is now they call Egypt. They maintain, again, these are people in the land speaking from the Greek, Diodorus Siculus, the Greek philosopher, historian. He's telling this. And they maintain that it was not land, but it was sea. Egypt was underwater when in the beginning the universe was being formed. Afterwards, however, as the Nile during the time of the indignation carried down the mud from Ethiopia, the land, and gradually built up from the deposits, and the larger parts of the customs of the Ethiopians was practiced, and they held Ethiopians, the colonists, still preserving what? Their ancient tradition and manners. For instance, the belief that their kings are gods. They figured the pharaohs, the kings, was God in the flesh. Okay, they gave them all alliance. Okay, and what's this? They very special attention. They gave very special attention, which they paid to what? Their burials. Every burial was significant. They took, we all do. Bury our loved ones is the big thing. Okay. But, and many other matters of what? Similar nature are Ethiopia's practices, in which shapes what? Their statues and the forms of their letters are Ethiopians. For the two kinds, here we go, of writing, which was Egyptians, they had, which they're known as popular demonic, is learned by everybody. Everybody learned the common writing, which demonic, which was called sacred heretic, as understood only by the priests of the Egyptians. I mean, they had a different level of learning, just like we got high school and college, higher degrees of learning, same concept. And watch this, who learned it, what? The high priest learned of the Egyptians, learned it from what? From their fathers, as one of the things which are divulged. But among the Ethiopians, everyone uses these forms of letters, which are writing. Furthermore, the orders of the priests they maintain have much the same positions amongst both people, for all are clean who are engaged in the service of God. They always washed and purified themselves before they went into the temples and worship, keeping themselves shaven, okay, like the Ethiopians priests, and having the same dress and form to staff, which is shaped like what? A plow. That's the head of the thing, like a little plow going to the water in the ground, and it's carried by the kings, okay, who wore what? the high felt hats, which end of it is the knob, the crown that Osiris wear. You see the knob at the top. That's what they're talking about now, and are circled by what serpents, which they call asp. Asp is a serpent, which when Cleopatra killed herself, they supposedly she used the asp. That's a poisonous snake, little poisonous snake. That was everywhere. Okay, and this symbol, it's a symbol. It appears to what carry the carrion stings protection. They shoot venom. Remember, the cobra venom goes 6 feet, but they asp will bite you. They bite you, it's a wrap. And many other things are told by them concerning what their own antiquity, meaning try to keep traditions in the colonies in which they sent out that became the Egyptians. They're out of Ethiopia. But about this, there is no special need of writing anything, meaning they got all the information they need by them. He just breaking it down for you. In the ancient Egyptian text states, our people originated by the base of the mountain of the moon and at the origin of the Nile River. Egypt means burnt, land of blackness, land of the burnt people. That's what the Greeks called them. Egypt is not what we call. They called us that because to them that's what meant black. That's the color that they use. But Kemet, Egypt is situated close to Lake Victoria, a big waterfall, and in present-day Africa, this is the same location where what? The earliest human remains have been found in the land currently known as Ethiopia or Tanzania. Oldest bones found there. Moving on, we ain't got to go back and forth about that. And recent genetic technology has reported in the new encyclopedias and leading news population has revealed that what all people of the world originated in Africa and what migrated to other parts of the world prior to the last ice age over 40,000 years ago. So to argue back and forth about this, that, and the third means a waste of your time. Know thyself, live right, do right, and you'll be fine. You don't control nothing but that. And that's all you can do with yourself. Moving on. So to know a whole bunch of stuff, it's cool, but how you living? Okay, that's more important than anything else. So therefore, as of this time, genetic testing has revealed that all humans are alike. There's one race, the human. Simple as that. One being, human being. The earliest bone fossils, which have been found in many parts of the world, of those of Africa, Grimaldi type, during the Ice Age, but it was not possible to communicate or migrate during that time. Those trapped in specific locations were subject to the regional forces of weather. If you're up when it's cold, you need to have hair on your back. So that's the white man's concept where they had to adapt to the region that they lived in, fully understanding that. So move on, please. There ain't nobody changing none of that nonsense. It's the weather, the climate that they lived in. A less warmer climate required less body pigment, okay? Thereby producing lighter pigmented people, okay, the white guys, who now drift from the dark-skinned ancestors, who differed from the dark-skinned ancestors. Now, after the Ice Age, when travel was possible, these light-skinned people who would lived in the northern hemisphere, colder regions, or harsher weather during the Ice Age period moved back to the warmer climates of their ancestors and mixed with the people there who had remained dark-skinned, thereby producing, you ready, Semitic colored people. A Semite is a person of different colors. That's all. Anti-Semite. I mean, you anti-colored people? That's what they're telling you. That's what the Semitic color. Semite means mixture of skin color, shades, different shades. A lot of time we don't have full understanding. We make all these assessments, all these judgments, and saying, and don't have a clue what we're talking about. That's ignorance. Not to know what the hell you're talking about. That's ignorant, but we do it all the time. So therefore, let me wrap this up. I see the clock. So therefore, there's only one human race. Understand that. Due to the different climatic and regional exposure changed to a point where there seemed to be different types of people. Seem, not is, just seem. If you're that ignorant, it seems like that. But if you're intelligent, understanding, it ain't that. So when you're prejudiced, racist, because it seems like they're different than you, you're still the same. We bleed red. Differences were noted by what? With respect to what? Skin color. You don't judge nobody by the color of their skin. Hair texture. No. Customs, languages, and with respect to the essential nature, psychological, and emotional makeup. We're all different. If somebody live over there, they got different views, concepts, but they are the same people. That's what we don't take into consideration when you're unspiritual and you're ignorant. Due to the experience, each group had to face and overcome in order to survive the environment that they was in. If I live in the suburbs now, I don't have to worry about what I had to worry about when I was in the hood. Moving on, difference in location, different styles, different things you have to do. I come up with you had to watch your back, had to be careful, had to watch out for the police, had to watch out for stick up man, you had to be on point, so to speak. Now you just lie. We call them victims. A victim is somebody who in a situation they have no idea how they got there. Victim, circumstance. You wasn't paying attention. You become a victim. Wrapping it up. I see the clock. I'll get this lesson out the way so I can move on. I got some more. I hope you're understanding this. Try to give you a breakdown of where we come from and what the concept I'm trying to bring to you from the people's perspective. Where we at? I'm almost done. Now, from a psychological standpoint, the question as to the origin of humanity is redundant when it is understood or should be understood that all comes from one origin, which some choose to call the Big Bang and others Supreme Being. I'm with the Supreme Being. I know the Big Bang when he said let there be bang. When the sun came, that's the Big Bang. I understand that conceptually. But historical evidence proves that Ethiopian Nubia already had what? Kingdoms at least 300 years before the first kingdom pharaoh of Egypt. So Egypt didn't start. We was the last. We took all information, gathered up, and put it in stone. Hence, Egypt was called the Library of Stone. Why? Because they came and burnt up the library of paper, papyrus. So we put it in stone. That's another reason. It's still there. Okay, moving on. Okay, a few more minutes. Ancient Egypt was a colony out of Nubia and Ethiopia. They migrated out and started their own thing, which was led by Asar, having been the leader of said colony. Wife, I said, the story is about life. It's a perfect metaphor because it covers every aspect of life. Moving on. And when the people who took, I got more information for you. Don't worry about it. I can get ahead of myself. So let me get this lesson out of the way. And now, upon his return from Greece, the god Diodorus, they gathered around and asked, tell us about that great land. This is other people wanting to know about us, the great land. This is the Greeks, okay, of the blacks. They respected us, ancient times, for being black, spiritual, righteous, good people. Now they hate us for that same purpose. Moving on. Just want to break it down for you, real simple. Make it easy. I ain't here to go cast aspersions. Just make stuff simple. You can understand it. So that's just a fact. Moving on. Where we at? Okay. Land of the great blacks of Ethiopia. The Vatican still kiss their feet. They still bow to the blacks. Moving on. And here's another one, Greek, Herodotus. He's from that era. He said there are two great Ethiopian nations. We didn't just have one, we had two of them. According to them. We ain't saying that. Somebody else is saying that. Reputation is when somebody else talks about you, not you talking about yourself. Oh, I'm the best I ever did it. I'm the greatest president. No. Let somebody else tell you the truth. You're the worst. I'm here to do just that. Moving on. So to get that in. Now, they didn't have one great Egyptian nation. They had two. One in Sindh. That's India. Okay? and the other in Egypt. That's why the philosophies of the Indian Hindus is mimicking to the Egyptians. They pretty much shared the same views, but they did it different ways. That I'm fully aware of. Come on, man. It's been like that since forever. And ain't no one set way. Righteousness can be done in a whole bunch of different forms. Okay, understand that. What I just told you was recorded by an Egyptian high priest, Menetho, 300 BCE. Excuse me, BC. And also recorded by your boy Diodorus, the Greek historian, in 100 BCE. So 200 years later, he went and got information. Same information. See the difference? It don't change. The pyramids, okay, themselves are wrapping up with this and cannot be dated. Why not? But it indicates, the indications are that what? They existed far back in antiquity. What the hell is that? You got all this technology, you got all it, and you can't date. Moving on. The pyramid texts, aka hieroglyphics, writings of the Egyptian gods, inscribed on pyramid walls. The handwriting is on the wall. The truth is on the wall. We didn't know what they talking about then, but we do now. The pyramid walls and the coffin texts, because they found them in the coffins, hence the books of the dead. The book of coming forth by day, which is true, what we called it. When that white man gets something, he's going to change it to make it comfortable for him. Stop allowing that. I'm tired. Well, it's this, but they say that. If you told them, if I tell you my name is Mark, you don't call me that, I'm not answering to you. Moving on. Hieroglyphics, again, inscribed on coffins also, speak authoritatively on what? You ready? The constitution of the human spirit, the vital life force along the human spinal cord. See me doing that? Okay, that's the serpent I'm about to show you to you too, the Kundalini serpent. They know it's like a coiled serpent 3.5 times, just waiting to unleash, to go up the back. What? To wake up what? Pineal gland, third eye. That's what happens internally. That's what it's doing inside. Okay, where we at? Now, the spirit. Now, the human spinal cord that goes up, known in India again as Kundalini, we call it serpent power. Same thing. Still going up. The immortality of the soul. We know the soul is energy. It don't die. Reincarnation is the proven fact that the soul don't die, just the body and the consciousness within the body, which is up here. They don't even keep this. They weigh the heart. So understand that the immortality of the soul and reincarnation and the law of what? Cause and effect. We know that to be what? In India is law of karma. We know it as same thing, karma. I read the action. When you reap what you sow, misconnect. Why? You do this, you're gonna get that. You do good, you get good in return. You do bad, you'll get bad in return. That's the law of karma. Okay. You reap what you sow. That's the lesson for now. I got more for you, but I'm gonna end it right there. See the clock. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Hope it's informative. I got more information for you. We're in the information age. I got plenty of information for you. In the lesson, in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you.